Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Empires and Puzzles video. And in this video, we are talking about how version 58 has landed. The biggest balance update in the history of Empires and Puzzles, according to the team at Empires and Puzzles, has turned into, well, perhaps it is still the biggest, but it's nowhere near what they had projected it to be. So let's take a look at what actually happened, because they changed a lot of things as usual. If you're getting frustrated with Empires and Puzzles, let me just say that Gemstone Legends probably has the things you're looking for. They have a mercy system that guarantees a legendary hero after a certain amount of pulls, and we're not just talking about a weak legendary hero from a pre-selected list. They have a wish list that you can put any hero in the game on to boost your chances of pulling that specific hero. They take into account player feedback, and many of the changes that have gone live in the game were based on player feedback or were player suggestions to begin with. They're even going to give you a free $50 starter bonus just for downloading from one of the links in the description. If the earlier stuff somehow wasn't enough, you can be a hero in wars even just using rare heroes only. They have tons of events that allow you to earn free 10 pulls and other very usable high value stuff. Gemstone Legends really has a lot going for it, so come check it out if you're curious to see why tens of thousands of people have left Empires and Puzzles to come play. Alright, they are still sticking with the biggest balance update in the history because they are adjusting more than 200 legendary heroes. They're just stat buffs. Overall, what's happening here is the newest heroes are getting big buffs. Older heroes are getting less, so they are widening the gap between the power of new heroes and the power of old heroes just to make it harder to compete. I've seen some absolutely ridiculous stats on some of these heroes. We're not going to go through every single one. You can go into your inbox in the game and look through this if you want to see what happened with a particular hero, but we're going to cover the highlights here because they walked back a lot of things that were supposed to happen. Some good, some bad. I want to know what you guys think, so let's talk about them. All right, as always, they're claiming that they will continue to look at what happens and may make more changes later on. I don't know if that's supposed to be encouraging or threatening, but you can decide. It says it went through multiple rounds of beta. We had initially prepared a wider and more direct set of changes, but have ultimately decided to take a more conservative approach, considering how volatile the post-ether power landscape still is. Hard to decide how to interpret that. Their direct meaning here is like the alpha ethers have shaken things up a lot. We don't really know how to balance that yet, despite the strong suggestions they had in the various versions of version 58 that we have looked at. So interesting there. It kind of speaks to some incompetence to a degree that's what's happening. Perhaps I'm wrong, but that's the way it looks from where I'm sitting here. All right, so Super Elemental family, one of the newest families, plus 60 power. They get the biggest buff, the newest heroes. So if you had any doubts about widening the gap between old heroes and new heroes, this can clarify all of that. That is 100% the primary goal of the biggest update in the history of the game, is to widen the gap between older heroes and newer heroes, and that's just legendaries. If we're boosting the power of legendary heroes this much, think about what that does to the gap between epic heroes and rare heroes, which get absolutely nothing. So they don't want you to be able to compete as easily or with as little risk as you can now. They want there to be more risk if you're not going to have the newest legendary heroes. So plus 50 for the Plains, Jungle, and Abyss Hunter families, plus 40 for Bard family and Mighty Pets, plus 35 for Musketeer and Masked God. Masked God hasn't even come out yet, and it's getting a buff. I mean, it hasn't officially come out. We have two heroes from that, which are Fortuna and Jove. The event has not come out yet for the rest of those heroes, and they're getting a buff. Journey family plus 30, plus 25, Styx, Springvale, Sun, Moon, Ninja. only the Ninja Heroes released most recently. That is absolutely wild that they would call it the Ninja family, but only the brand new heroes get a buff. Crazy. So the old ones, fuck them. They're trash. Just kidding, but I don't feel that way. But that's making a joke of that's how they're treating them. Plus 20 power Avalon, only the new ones. Cupid family, Lunar Year family. Plus 15 Underwild, only the ones released after December 2022. That's unbelievable. Mystery family, not even released yet except for 2 heroes. Gargoyle family, Winter family, Morlovia, all plus 15. Plus 10, Kingdom, Kelvala, Legends 2023, Atlantis family, heroes released after 2022. I don't know if that includes costumes. Like, does Ariel's costume count as a hero released after 2022? Or does it only mean the origin heroes, like how they had new Atlantis heroes? Are those the only ones that are eligible, or new costumes as well? I don't know. Okay. Individual exceptions. The following heroes are extremely powerful. They seem to choose their words very carefully here, and calling any small subset of heroes extremely powerful can also clarify that they know upon release that all legendaries are not even remotely created equal, even within the same family with the same release date. They know that certain ones are much better. So if we look, you can kind of see that each family has one hero that tends to be the best in terms of how much they get used on offense, defense, all that kind of stuff. So of the Musketeers, it's Aramis. Of the Mighty Pets, it's Ferdinand, who is ridiculously strong and no longer being nerfed. So these nerfs that Jove, Ferdinand, Aramis were supposed to receive, no nerfs whatsoever. Aramis still undispellable, still the high healing. Jove still the incredibly high damage. Ferdinand still cleanses first, very difficult to deal with. And the way they're trying to balance that is by not giving stat boosts to these heroes individually. That's not going to be the thing that makes the difference. Stat boost just makes tiles more or less effective depending on where the stat boosts were for the most part. So is that the problem here? Not necessarily. So a very poor attempt at the biggest balance update in the history of Empires and Puzzles, in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. If you agree, let me know in the comments. I want to hear where you guys stand on this stuff. This is pretty big, though. The following heroes have also proven to be quite powerful, but not as much as the ones listed above. So these are not extremely powerful, but are highly powerful, perhaps. As such, they are only receiving a partial stat boost of plus 20 power. Archie, Athos, Barkley, Camilla, Erlang Shen, Queen Guowang, Hurricane, interesting. Brand new. No way they could have enough testing on him. Hypnos, Milady de Winter, Narcissa, Reese, Snowball. Okay, I wonder how they came up with that list. But there it is. And again, it just kind of speaks to the tier system of new events. There's the best hero in there. There's the next 2 or 3 top heroes. There's the ones that they're still usable, and there's the ones that people don't want. And they seem to be perfectly fine with that kind of structure. All right, some good news here. Costume and family bonus adjustments. Underwild family, again, you have to have the costume, but you do get a boost at least, and I think that is good. They should be boosting the entire Underwild family. They're not going to, because the costumes are more recent, but again, still, that's something. Guardians, Valhalla, Guardian, Pirate, Grim Forest, Wonderland, Avalon, again, getting a boost. Atlantis, finally getting a boost. Not as big as the Underwild family, despite being older and with much lower stats, but very happy to see that Costume Ariel, for example, finally has a proper costume bonus. Really happy about that. It's long overdue. Springvale, Morlovia, Legends 2017. get the old version of the costume bonus, but again, it's an improvement, so I'm happy with that. Sand gets the old version as well. Family bonus changes here. These are a bit more mild. The primary thing is that, all of these are getting, not all of them, but the first two are getting a bonus just for single heroes. So Lagoon family, now single heroes get plus 3% attack. Sakura family plus 3% mana just for one. I like when they do that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Sand also gets for one, plus 5% defense. That's nice. This stuff's pretty minor, so I'm just going to scroll through. You can pause if you want to look at it. But these are basically the the only special skill nerfs or buffs. I think they're all buffs that we're seeing. Telluria partially restored to her former glory, but far too late. Okay. Please note, all stats listed here are based on heroes' fully ascended, non-limit broken, non-emblem max level states. Changes to damage over time effects are due to changes in the caster's attack stat. They are not a result of special skill adjustments. So then we have a whole long list of everyone's stat increases just to show you something interesting. Looking at the very first one on the list. So Ariel gets a little bit, that's due to the costume bonus increase. So, okay. Same thing there. So plus 31 defense, a little under 100 health. I'll take it. But a very new hero here at the top. Where the hell's the top? Aconia. Look at that increase. Almost, what is that? 58 attack, 58 defense, 165 HP. That's wild. That's a huge boost on a very new hero. And then we look at poor old Ajir, 16 defense and not even 60 health. Pretty sad. And one of these other heroes, I can't remember his name. Griffix, that's what it is. Huge boost again. I saw this guy on defense with a double limit break, and I think it was 1100 attack, over 1200 defense, and like 22 or 2300 HP. Just absolutely insane. It's a 6-star hero. They're just not willing to call it that. So, yeah, the biggest update ever can still technically be classified as such, but how much really happened? The rich got richer and the poor got poorer, so to speak, in terms of recent heroes getting the buffs that they did not deserve as much, and the older heroes who desperately need them receive next to nothing, and they walk back a lot of the changes. Some for the best. I think Reese did not deserve to lose a cleanse. Gazelle did not deserve to lose a heal, that kind of stuff. But these exempt heroes that they listed here probably do need some adjustment, and they received none. So it's too soon to say what the effect will be. It does at least read remotely clear-cut, but again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So let me know your thoughts below. This is here. It's live. They didn't walk back the Ether taunt either. It was going to go from 4 to 3. That didn't happen. So a lot of stuff that was supposed to happen didn't. So let me know what things you think were good decisions to leave alone and what things you think really needed to be adjusted that weren't. Overall, share your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to read that stuff about this in particular because it was quite a tumultuous process getting here, and in a way it's disappointing that they got so soft about it. If you're going to make changes, commit to it, do the work, get the data, make smart changes, but they kind of just didn't commit, stopped halfway through and said, oh, we're just going to do this, but we'll keep watching it. So again, it's like this situation where, can we trust this? Is this where it's going to stay? Did they just rush it and not put the work in, and they're going to make nerfs later? Like, it doesn't give you any confidence in ascension decisions or limit break decisions or any of that kind of stuff. So it makes it really hard to know what's going on when they continue to operate this way. So again, I want to hear your thoughts Please hit the like button and subscribe as well. Show your support for the channel. It helps it keep being rewarding for me to do these videos. I enjoy interacting with you guys, and I enjoy seeing that the videos have been enjoyed. So if you haven't clicked that already, or you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do those things. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.